Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Yeah, and there's a company that has been helping us all shoot better, particularly with rifles, for many, many years. It's the folks over at Sierra Bullets. Joining me right now is John O'Brien from Sierra Bullets. Hey, John, how are you doing? And thank you for being here.
Absolutely doing well. And yourself?
Excellent, excellent. I mean, when I think of Sierra Bullets, traditionally, in the old days, up till a few years ago anyway, it was always competition bullets. Frankly, if you were shooting in competition, you were almost assuredly going to be shooting Sierra Bullets because they were simply more accurate than anything out there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, nothing leaves our factory unless it shoots the way we want to shoot and looks the way we want it to look.
How old is the Sierra company? How long has Sierra Bullets been around?
So this is our 75th or 75th anniversary. So we moved out of California in the early 90s, and I've been in the heartland in the middle of Missouri, in Sedalia, Missouri, since about, right in the beginning of the 90s.
That's very cool. That's a good place to be, right there in the middle of the country. So, all right, so I guess this simple question, it's really not simple at all, is how do you make a bullet that is accurate? What makes a bullet accurate?
So for us, I mean, a lot of it comes down to the people that we have at Sierra. So everybody at Sierra is extremely invested in who we are and what we do. And it starts from the beginning. I mean, we are still a old cup process. So, I mean, all the way from the cup to draw and trim it out, I mean, everything's got to be perfect the whole way through. We're not great at efficient numbers, just from the standpoint of unless we're seeing the accuracy that we want, it doesn't move. So we keep pretty close eye on it. I mean, it's not uncommon for us to see accuracy of 10-shot groups at 200 meters and 0.7, 0.8 throughout the day. And we keep everything tight and controlled.
And you're shooting a lot of bullets there, aren't you?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, you can't walk in the front door of our place without hearing gunshots.
What a great place to work, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we have a 300-meter range, and it's kind of odd. It pretty much runs under the whole plant. When you walk down the range, you can hear the presses above you. It's a pretty cool operation.
Wait a minute. Is this I remember this now. I had forgotten about it. Is this the range, 300-yard range, 300-meter range, where you can, put in atmospheric conditions there?
We're not that fancy, but we do, have some pretty sophisticated technology in it, as well as pressure labs and other things.
Okay, yeah, and of course, how do you measure BC? Because that's a big deal. Used to be nobody really paid a lot of attention to ballistic coefficient, and now it's one of the first things that people look at. So how do you measure that?
I mean, it's pretty well automated. I mean, all of our shooting is computer measured and all that. So the formulas, looking at muzzle velocity and everything else, it's just an automatic number for us. I mean, to say it quite simply. Now, in tuning it, it's a whole different ball game, and it all depends on what type of bullet you're looking for. Are you looking for that extreme long-range bullet, or are you, in the Midwest like I'm doing this weekend, shooting whitetail at, 150, 200 yards?
Right. It doesn't matter a whole lot for that. So, okay, Sierra obviously makes bullets for reloading, and that's what you've always been known for, but now you're making loaded ammo.
Correct. So we have a few different product lines, we have a tip line, a Match King line, and varmint lines, some Sportsmaster. You're going to see over the next year or so some consolidation and some redoing it. There hasn't been a lot of different offerings related to some of those lines, just because we're just like everyone else, struggling to get components, whatever be it. So a lot of things haven't been out there. So we've been able to get a few things. Our Game Changer line for hunting is still a phenomenal line, and going down the list of all of our different ammos, they shoot phenomenally. One of our, competition guys took me out a few weeks ago, and we shot our 6.5 Creedmoor 140 grains, and it was the first time me shooting that rifle, a chassis rifle, at 600 yards. I mean, and it was shooting with under, 3-inch groups at 600 yards pretty fast. So it's good stuff. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's almost like cheating, isn't it?
I was laughing because it was stupidly easy. I'm like, it shouldn't have been that easy to get, the way they got me on it. But I mean, because I walked into it thinking like, oh, this is gonna be difficult. I'm gonna roll through a box of ammo, and 5 shots in, I'm on bullseye. With the right help, and we treat our ammo the same way we treat our bullets. We waste a lot of ammo testing it. We don't load it in house. So we inspect everything before it comes in the facility, and so or before it comes or goes to a customer. And unless it's shooting and sees the pressure and cosmetically, I mean, we take a lot of care in what the Sierra name is.
Run through, if you would, for me, because you got a lot of different bullets. When I look at your rifle bullets, you got the Game Changer, the Tip Game Changer. You got different ones. Can you kind of just give us a real quick overview of the families, if you will?
Absolutely. So we have 7 different rifle product lines. Obviously, we have our Match King line, is what we're known for and everywhere. But from that point, you have a tip Match King, which is essentially trying to get a little bit extra BC out of it. We don't recommend it for hunting, but there's still a decent number of guys using it for hunting and different things like that. From that point on, we have our Game Kings line. So we have our original Game King line, which is a hunting bullet, a boat tail type bullet, use medium heavyweight, and then from that point, a couple years ago, we extended on that and did our Tip Game King. That was a start from scratch type of bullet, so it's thick jacketed, designed for heavier type game, from the smallest being a whitetail up to elk, moose, you name it.
Okay.
The other hunting lines we have, our Pro Hunter line, which is a flat base bullet. It's a lot of them are Spitzer designs, hollow point designs. They're a little bit, heavier jacket, but, it's a hunting bullet. Followed by the Varminter line. So we have one Varminter line that's not tipped, which is just Varminter, and then we have the Blitz King line, which the Blitz King line is pretty neat. It's a tipped little 22 to 20 cal bullet, and a lot of those bullets you can shoot over 4,000 feet per second.
What's the availability these days? Because as you said, I mean, I know supply chain thing, we get tired of hearing that, but it's like, okay, yeah, copper can be hard to get. Lead can be hard to get, all the rest of it. So and when I've gone to your website, sometimes it says, out of stock. So where are we in trying to get up to speed with everything?
So as far as production goes, we've actually built the most variety of bullets in the last few months than we have basically since before COVID hit. We keep expanding more and more changeovers, more in different products. Quite frankly, our biggest thing has been demand. So, I mean, the bullets that are on presses, we have a hard time taking them down when we still have them on presses. Luckily for us, all of our components or all of our lead and copper are sourced domestically, and actually majority of it is within 4 hours of Missouri. So throughout all of COVID, we stayed good on lead and copper, but it was still tight. But it was just really demand. It's just insane, record-breaking demand that we've had the last couple of years.
Are more people reloading now?
It's hard to tell, and that's what we keep trying to find out. Because I mean, we're just as struggled as primers as everybody else. And from what our customers say, it seems a lot of them have been hesitant to buy bullets if they can't get the primers to load it. I mean, right. I know personally my stash of primers is getting pretty low. I mean, I'm down to, less than 1,000 small rifle primers is what I got personally. And so, I debate on what I use it for anymore. And right. So it seems like that market's going to come back a little bit and that primers are going to start hitting more as everything is slowing down right now. But we're definitely, the way Sierra is aimed right now, we're definitely trying to, get that, reloading market filled back up as quick as we can.
So is the going forward for Sierra, is the emphasis going to be on component bullets, or is it going to be on loaded ammunition?
Our emphasis has always been, making the best bullets. I mean, that's who Sierra is. The ammunition is a side thing as far as, people that can't get in the reloading market, don't want to do the investments, all that type of things. There's just some people that don't want to play in that. So we'll still have our ammunition, but you're definitely, without question, going to see some reshaping of what our ammo lines look like over the next year or two.
Okay, and people want to keep up with it, they just go to SierraBullets.com is where you can find all the info there.
Correct.
Okay.
And so the one thing that we will have coming out, there will be one line coming out here shortly, and we will be adding some revolver/lever action loads coming out too.
Really? What calibers?
Right now it looks like 44 mag, 45 Colt, 357, and 38 Special will be the ones we start with.
Boy, that is a market where we need a lot more product on the shelves, so that would be really welcome.
And it's using a Sierra Legacy bullet, but a little bit tweaked, making sure that it performs the way we want it to perform.
That's terrific. Well, as soon as you get those out, I need some. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hey, John, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And look, you're welcome back here anytime because we love talking bullets.
Absolutely love it. Thank you.
All righty, you take care. Yeah, SierraBullets.com.